Back with Evan Kenney to talk sports. Now we are looking forward to a brand new season of NHL hockey. NBA also on the way soon, but everyone's focused on the NHL season starting this week. Everyone's got their fantasy pools in order. I know I do anyway. And unfortunately, we start sort of the intro to the season with a bit of bad news in the hockey world, with Evander Kane facing some supplemental discipline for an incident he had where he meant to slash a player, hits a referee, and then the ensuing scuffle afterwards also shoves the referee. You can obviously look at, there's a lot of incidental contact. This isn't meant to be an intentional going after the ref, but how much of it can you attribute to he needs to control himself better versus these things happen in heated moments on the ice?
Well, that's one of the things you gotta focus on. You know, hitting the ref, I'm assuming it's gonna be 10-game suspension, and for somebody like Evander Kane, who doesn't have the best reputation, he led the NHL in penalty minutes last season, so he doesn't have the best rep. They're not gonna take it lightly on him.
Yeah, and as they probably shouldn't. Typically, when you have incidents with officials, these suspensions aren't light. Even Dennis Weidman, which you mentioned off camera, was something that they didn't take lightly as well. And it's unfortunate we have this news going into a season because there's a lot of promise with a lot of Canadian clubs. Obviously, there's many Canadians fans excited. The Maple Leafs have high expectations. The Calgary Flames, of course, my team, very, very high expectations, especially after Matthew Tkachuk signed for a deal where they saved a little bit of money in the short term. Not to mention, up here in oil country, there's plenty of people excited about the Oilers. As a resident of the Edmonton area, are you excited for your team, or do you think that they're going to be battling amongst some of the other teams out west?
I think it's another growth year, especially on the back end. I'd like to see some players like Caleb Jones, Ethan Bear, Evan Bouchard get a chance, get some more ice time, and be put in some more prominent roles so they can develop into those D-men that all the fans and all the front office of the Oilers are hoping they turn into. On the front end, I think they need some more skill. In the past, I always thought they need more size. But after the whole Maroon, Lucic experiment that, obviously didn't turn out too well for the Oilers, they need more skill now. They need to support Connor McDavid so they can put up some points.
And of course, that was one of the issues for them last year. It should continue unless we see some growth there. Don't see that coming for the Calgary Flames. Plenty of depth on both offense and defense. And I got to say, we were talking a little bit off camera. Mark Giordano wins the Norris Trophy, and yet he's already sort of not even counted in as one of the top 5 or 6 defensemen, even 10 defensemen in the league, which is a little stunning. I know he's an older defenseman, but that people are sort of writing him off so quickly to be an elite defenseman.
For sure. I almost see Giordano like a fine wine who's just getting better with age. If you look at his stats over the last 5 years or so, he's just gotten better and better each year, eating up more minutes, keeping that Calgary team, who for a while there was quite young with Johnny Gaudreau and Sean Monahan just entering the league. He kept them calm, kept them controlled, and really controlled the pace of play, let alone his production being stellar over the last couple of years.
And now we just have a little bit of time to wrap up here. So since we're about to start the season, we might as well put our predictions and credibility, such vast credibility, on the line. Who do you expect to get out of the West and out of the East come playoff time next year?
Well, one team I really like out of the West who they surprised some people last year in playoffs. That's the Colorado Avalanche. I think with a good D-core, especially Cale Makar coming up into that D-core, former Hobey Baker winner, I think they could do good things. And I'm not a Toronto guy, but I think the Maple Leafs, especially with the addition of Tyson Barrie and having Jake Muzzin in there all season, they could be lethal.
I am also going to go with the bandwagon pick of the Toronto Maple Leafs, and I think in the final they will face my Calgary Flames.